But think deeply. When exactly is tomorrow, if not today? The Uganda of tomorrow is not built in the future. It is built now. In the decisions you make, the ideas you nurture, the courage you show, and the standards you demand. Every road, every institution, and every system that will exist tomorrow depends on what the youth choose to do today. Dear Ugandan youth, know your worth to claim your rights. Uganda stands on the shoulders of its youth. Millions of young minds, restless with dreams, heavy with questions, and rich with untapped power. This is not just a demographic fact. It is a defining truth about the nation's future. The energy, the creativity, the resilience of young Ugandans are not promises of a distant tomorrow. They are tools for shaping today. For too long, a phrase has echoed across generations. The youth are the leaders of tomorrow. It sounds hopeful, it sounds patient, but hidden inside is a quiet delay, a postponement of responsibility for the youth not to perform today, but to wait for tomorrow. A justification for avoiding responsibility of the youth today. But think deeply. When exactly is tomorrow, if not today? The Uganda of tomorrow is not built in the future. It is built now. In the decisions you make, the ideas you nurture, the courage you show, and the standards you demand. Every road, every institution, and every system that will exist tomorrow depends on what the youth choose to do today. A hard truth is that disappointment is real. Let's speak honestly. Losing hope in government systems is not unusual. Many young people feel unseen, they feel unheard, they feel unsupported. Opportunities often seem reserved for the connected ones, the privileged ones, and the well-established ones. Promises have been made, but not always fulfilled. Systems designed to uplift everyone sometimes appear to exclude others. Now, acknowledging this reality as a youth does not make you weak. It makes you aware. But awareness alone is not enough. The question is, what do you do with that awareness? Do you withdraw or do you rise? Your worth is not negotiable. You are not a burden to your country, Uganda. You are not a waiting list. You are the builders. Your idea is the infrastructure Uganda needs today. Your discipline is policy, and your unity is the power Uganda needs today. Because every generation before you has shaped Uganda in its own way. Now, whether prepared or not, the responsibility is shifting to you, the pillars of our country, the youth. Not gradually, not eventually, right now. And if the system does not prioritize you as it should, then your response must not be silence. It must be responsible awakening, not chaos, not distraction, but purposeful, intelligent, and persistent engagement. Holding leaders accountable is your duty. Leadership is not a distant concept reserved for those in office. It is a relationship between those who lead and those who are led. If leaders are not delivering, the responsibility to question, to demand, and to guide direction does not belong to someone else. It belongs to you. But ask yourself, are you informed enough to question effectively? Are you united enough to demand change meaningfully? Are you disciplined enough as the youth to sustain that demand without losing focus? True accountability is not noise. It is organized, informed, and consistent pressure. A message to the leaders. Uganda's population is growing rapidly. In the next 50 years, the faces that define leadership today will change. The elders of today will pass the mantle, whether intentionally or by time itself. And who will take their place? The youth of today. Now, if this generation is neglected, underprepared, or misdirected, then the Uganda of tomorrow will reflect that failure, of course caused by the adults of today. Now, investing in youth is not charity. It is national survival. Education, employment, innovation, and inclusion are not favors to the young people. They are the foundation of a stable future. But youth must also look inward. Before demanding the change, there is a harder mirror to face. If the youth are to lead, then their behavior must reflect leadership. And this is where the challenge becomes uncomfortable. Social media, one of the most powerful tools ever placed in the hands of young people, has too often been turned into a space for distraction, misinformation, and obscenity. Instead of building conversations, many platforms are flooded with noise. Instead of sharing ideas, energy is spent chasing trends. And then we ask ourselves, why are we not taken seriously by the government? A nation cannot be built on distraction. It cannot be built on obscenity. It cannot be built by running behind politicians who promise but do not deliver. The questions that must shake you. Pause a little bit as a youth, think deeply, and answer honestly. If Uganda handed you leadership today, are you ready? Or are you still preparing excuses? If your voice disappeared from social media, would anything meaningful be lost? Is your voice on social media contributing to solutions or just reacting with noise to problems? What skill are you building today that Uganda will need tomorrow? Ask yourself, if every youth behaved exactly like you, what kind of country would Uganda become tomorrow? Are you waiting for change, or are you becoming the change? What is your personal price tag to this nation? What do you truly offer? And perhaps the hardest question of all, are you living like a builder for a new Uganda, or like a spectator and a noisemaker? Dear youth of Uganda and Mama Africa, rise, but rise rightly and responsibly. The call is not for rebellion. The call is not for anger without direction. The call is for conscious awakening. Use your voice, but ground it in truth. Use social media, but turn it into a platform for ideas, not distractions. Demand accountability, but start with personal responsibility. Challenge leadership, but also prepare yourself to lead better. And the final truth, Uganda is not waiting for another generation. It is waiting for you, the youth, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Because the future you are hoping for is already depending on what you do now. So rise, not just in numbers, but in purpose. Speak, not just loudly, but wisely. Act, not just quickly, but responsibly. And never forget, you are not the leaders of tomorrow. You are the builders of today. For God and my country.